From Miami Beach, the sun and fun capital of the world, it's the Jackie Gleason Show. And away we go!
Orchestra leader Sammy Spear. Take a bow, Sam. Beyond description, Sam, you look gorgeous. You look like you went to a party and fell into a cheese dip. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, the show is going to be different. Because tonight we do what we call the cast show. Now, I've been on television a little more than 16 years, and every year we have presented this cast show. And by cast show, I mean that all the people who are connected in the show, with the show, and outside of the show, all get into the show tonight to show their talents and their wares. And what is aggravating about this, I have very little to do with this show. And it always turns out to be the best show of the season, which is very aggravating. But to start off this evening, you know, we get a lot of letters sent in to us, and they ask us, are the people that we do business with, the people that help us put the show on, are they normal people? Are they glamorous? Are they extraordinary in any way? Well, the answer is no. They're just normal human beings like you and myself. And to prove it to you, I'd just like to introduce a few of them to you right now. First, I'd like to introduce my head writer, Mr. Marvin Marks. Marvin? Perfectly normal gentleman. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our assistant producer, Mr. Eddie DeVerno. And one of the songwriters of the team of Lynn Duddy and Jerry Bressler, who are very fine lyricists and melody writer, here he is, Mr. Lynn Duddy. Lynn, would you come out, please? Normal people. From our makeup department, Miss Marlana May. Now I'd like to introduce my rehearsal pianist, Mr. Milt Sherman. Normal, ordinary people. And now, one of our other writers, Mr. J. Franklin Jones. There's got to be an oddball in everything. Thank you very much, Mr. Jones. Thank you, Mr. Marvin. Would you remain? Thank you very much. There they go. Just some of the people. Now, as I've told you, Mr. Marvin Marks is our head writer. And a few weeks ago, we did a Honeymooners special with Art Carney and Audrey Meadows, and we had music and everything. Because this gentleman, Marvin Marks, was in that Honeymooners show. He never got any credit for it. No one saw him. And what he contributed to the show was very, very important. As a matter of fact, one of the highlights of the show. If you remember, I was at the adoption agency, and they left me on stage alone with just a little crib. He was in the crib doing the baby cry. Now, just a moment. Okay. Now, you might think that a baby cry isn't important, but it's very difficult to get someone to do this. Now, I want you to listen to, without a doubt, the greatest baby crier on the stage today. Thank you. Marvin, that's it. That's it! A little traveling music sound. And away we go. Friends, I know you're all familiar with Sid Fields, who appears on our show regularly in the sketches helping me. Tonight, he's going to do something extraordinary. Sid has been in show business practically over 35 years. He was in burlesque a great many of these years, when burlesque was family entertainment. So I asked Sid if he could put together some of the bits that he did in the old days of burlesque and put it on for us this evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's Sid Fields in that famous burlesque scene, A Little Peace and Quiet.
This way, sir. This is your room.
That's a heck of a place to put a revolving door. I'm a sick man. I'm nervous. I've got to have rest.
I'll call the doctor. Doctor!
Doctor?
Oh, Dr. Dressing!
Come on, sweetheart! It is. Welcome to Eagle's Nest. I mean, Peace and Quiet Sanitarium.
You're the doctor?
That's right, I'm Dr. Dressing. I'm one of Mayonnaise brothers. Yes, you're the glass blower, the nervous breakdown, yeah?
I should say nervous. Doctor, I'm so nervous. The last time I was blowing glasses, I got the hiccups. And I was so nervous, I blew 500 percolator tops before anybody could stop.
Very good. There you come to the right place. The right place. Nurse, I want you to undress this man and put him to bed, yeah? He must have absolute rest. He must have peace and quiet. Verstehen? Peace and quiet! Hear that?
She could hear you if you were in Fort Lauderdale.
Take off your clothes and get into bed. And if there's any emergency, just call me.
How to get into bed? Might as well make it. Oh, money. Now I'll have a nice rest and be quiet in here. Everything is lovely. I gave a daddy. Oh, the money. The money. I got to hide the money, so nobody finds the money. I got to hide the money. I got to hide the money. Oh, money. That burglar is stealing my money. He's stealing.
Well, he's a burglar. What did you expect him to be doing, making chopped liver?
What are you going to do about the burglar?
Look, I'm a nurse. When you have a pain, you call a nurse. And when you have a burglar, you call the police.
Yeah, you can.
Good night, Charlie.
Good night, Lucy boy.
If I don't get some rest, I'm gonna faint.
Where are you taking me?
Taking me. Look, I'm a sick man.
Listen.
I came here for a little rest.
Listen. Listen.
I don't hear a sound.
It's been that way all day.
I hate you, Frank Panetta. Wait a minute. What do you mean I hate you, Frank Panetta? My name isn't Frank Panetta, it's Sid Fields.
Sid Fields, I hate you worse than Frank Panetta, Sid Fields.
I'm not getting any rest, I'm getting killed. Help, police, fire! Maybe some... if they gave me the place.
Wow! Holy mackerel! Whee! Oh, boy! Beautiful!
Hey, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at my beautiful apple tree with all those pretty red ripe apples. Oh, you
winner. That's a goodie.
Come on, there's no apple tree here.
No apple tree there?
No.
You doubt it, huh? Well, if you doubt there's a tree there, you wise guy, you smart aleck, shake the tree. Ruff, ruff! Shake the tree! Why, you dirty old...
I know I'm crazy for saying it. This is the Peace and Quiet Sanitarium, yes.
Okay, Joe, this is it. Let it go!
Ladies and gentlemen, most of you people know Frank Fontaine as Crazy Guggenheim on our program. Tonight, he's going to do something just a little bit different. Tonight, he is going to play the part of a guest speaker, Fred Frump, at a ladies' club in East Cupcake, Connecticut. He will be introduced by our announcer, Mr. Johnny Olson. And here they are.
Welcome back to America, Mr. Frump.
Mr. Fred, I may call you Fred.
Yes, yes, I just can't tell you, ladies, how thrilled I am to be here with you today and to tell you about my trips in the deepest Africa.
You really enjoyed it in the deepest part of Africa, didn't you, Fred? May I call you Fred?
Yes, yes, Frump's the name, Fred Frump. Game is my big game.
May I call you Fred?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may. Say, Johnny Olson, you know, every time I look at you, you remind me of my dad. He does. Your real dear old dad. He used to say to me, if he said it once, he said it 1,000 times. He said, Roy! He said, Roy! He always called me Roy. My name is Fred. He said, Roy, go on out to that big game country and hunt and get all that money, that gold. There's a lot of money in that big game country. So I decided to start right at the top. And I went to the place where I'd get the biggest game.
Where was that, Fred?
Las Vegas.
Fred, may I call you Fred?
Yes, yes, you may.
Fred, what was your first contact with the animals?
Well, it happened when I was a little kid. Me and another kid tied a bunch of tin cans to a dog's tail.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Now, why did you tie a bunch of tin cans to a dog's tail?
The dog just got married.
I imagine down in Africa there were millions of insects. Many things to worry about.
Oh, yes. You had to protect yourself at all times. You can't see a lot of the insects, you know.
Did you become infected?
No, I fought in every war.
You've not always been a big game hunter, Fred. How did you start out in life?
As I remember it, I started out as a little boy.
Well, most of us did.
My sister didn't. No, I loved animals since I was a youngster, and I wanted to run away and join the circus, and I even wanted to become the bearded lady.
Well, what happened?
My sister beat me to it.
We have some questions submitted here. Mrs. Lee Spear, one of the nice ladies of the PTA, has sent up some questions. They want you to answer them, if you will. Fred, I may call you Fred.
Yes, yes, my father always called me Roy.
The first question from Miss Padilla Herman. She says, most wild animals are ferocious. Are there any nice, friendly animals?
Yeah, sure there are.
Well, now, of all the animals you know, which is the biggest and the friendliest?
The big, tall, blonde bunny in the Playboy Club.
The next question is from Miss Patricia Raymond. She wants to know if an elephant's hide is as tough as they say.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, John. The elephant's skin is... I'll never forget the first time I shot an elephant. I aimed right at him, and the bullet hit the side of him and bounced back and hit me right in the stomach. Sort of a pot shot.
The next question, Mrs. Marilyn Youngatop. What kind of a weapon do you use to shoot an elephant?
An elephant gun.
Well, what's an elephant gun?
Shoots peanuts.
Mrs. Helen Pennington wants to know if you ever ran into Tarzan.
I only ran into Tarzan once, John. He was crossing the street. My brakes didn't work. We became good friends. Tarzan used to look at me. He admired the way I dressed. He'd look at me and say, "You dress good." So I said, "Well, I'll make you a sports jacket, Tarzan." And I saw a striped leopard coming at us, and I raised my rifle, and bingo, I shot him dead in the doornail, John. And I made a nice striped sport jacket for Tarzan. And boy, he loved that.
Well, what did Tarzan say?
He didn't say nothing. He sat right down and started playing his bongo drums and composed that famous marching song, Tarzan Stripes Forever.
The sun and fun capital of the world, it's the Jackie Gleason Show. And away we go!
How sweet it is.
I want to tell you, it's beautiful.
And, oh. Well, folks, I wish we had color television so you could see the coat that Sammy's wearing tonight. Sammy Spear, our orchestra leader. Is that the color, or did you spill ketchup all over it? What is it?
Oh, yes. I have a surprise for you tonight. The drinks are on me. Can you die?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I got this. I thought you'd like a little present. I just got it for you. But I had a bad day today.
You did?
Yes, I woke up. I couldn't sleep a wink last night, you see, so I took a sleeping pill, and I dreamt I was awake. When I got up, I was asleep. Can you believe it? I got some bad news today, though. I found out today Lloyd Bridges can't even swim. I went window shopping today. I bought 4 windows. I was in the store, these ladies are there, and they're pushing me and shoving me and pushing and shoving. They pushed me in the girdle department. Can you tell? I didn't want to go in the girdle department. You know that. It was so crowded. One woman bought a girdle. Woman next to her tried it on. Woman next to her said, "Ouch, the salesgirl paid for it, and I wore it home." I still got it on.
That's a bigger nut than Sammy Spear.
Well, here's something funny.
Yeah.
I just came back from Europe by train. I don't fly. I have a very rare disease. I have jaundice of the stomach. I'm a yellow belly. Did you ever realize how many sharp turns you go around unless you're in the dining car eating, you know? Come here, you'll die at this. I went in the dining car and I ordered corn on the cob. You ready? We went around a sharp turn, and I ate 3 buttons off the guy's sleeve sitting next to me. He didn't say a word. He had my tie in his mouth. We're getting close to New York, you ready? And the conductor's yelling out, "Change for Elizabeth, change for Elizabeth." I gave him $10. I didn't know who the heck she was.
Rip Halligan.
thousands of children are reported lost. Working swiftly and efficiently, the Bureau of Missing Persons has run up an impressive record of tracing and returning to their loved ones, those who have wandered off. We bring you a report.
The Ambassador and Mrs. Sherman of Switzerland. The Ambassador and Mrs. Del Prago of Spain. The Ambassador and Mrs. Philbin of Little America.
Coming up, pal. Huh? No, the guy ain't been in to fix the pipes. He ain't coming, let's face it. I might give this joint up. They're driving me crazy. You know, some of these guys, they think it's fun to play tricks. I'm behind the bar this afternoon. Phone rings. I says, hello, who is it? He says, is Harry there? I said, there ain't no Harry here. He says, okay. Hangs up. 15 minutes later, the phone rings. I go up, I say, hello? He says, is Harry there? I said, I told you, there's no Harry here. 15 minutes later, the phone rings again. I go over, hello? He says, is Harry there? I said, I told you there's no Harry here. This goes on all day. Finally, the phone rings. I go over. I said, hello, who is it? He says, this is Harry. Any messages? Huh? Oh, he's in the back. I'll call him out. Hey, Craig!
Hiya, Joe. Hiya, Mr. Johnny.
Well, what's been going on, Craze?
Oh, not much. Fatso Fogarty was in the butcher shop again the other day. He walked to the butcher shop. He says, hey, Sweeney, where's your roast beef? Sweeney says, right here. What do you want to do about it? He says, I want you to give me 18 pounds and 6 ounces. No more, no less. So Sweeney gets the big knife and he starts slicing away. He slices, got a great big pile of roast beef, and he puts it up on the scale. He says, that's 18 pounds even. Fatso says, come on, 6 more ounces. And Sweeney's slicing away, and he's measuring. He finally gets 18 pounds and 6 ounces. You say, Fatso, you want me to deliver it or you want to take it with you? He says, nothing. I've been on a diet and I lost 18 pounds and 6 ounces. I want to see how it looks in 1 month. Oh, boy, I tell you, everything happens around the neighborhood. Buggy Lombardo nearly jumped out the window.
What happened?
You know, he lives a little outside of Newburgh, you know, and he's got a pretty soft job. All he does is polish and wax the cannon in front of the courthouse. He's been doing that for 15 years, Joe. He does a pretty good job, too. He comes home last week, it's his birthday, and his wife says, Buggy, I got a great big birthday surprise for you. He said, what is it, dear? He says, well, for the past 15 years, you know, you've been shining that cannon every week, and we've saved a little money out of your paycheck. And yesterday I looked in the bank book, and we had $700 yesterday. He says, what do you mean, yesterday? He says, well, today I took the $700 and bought you a new cannon. Now you can go in business for yourself.
Oh, Buggy Lombardo. You think he used to have an orchestra one time?
I saw John Zapparelli. He just came back from Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was out there to visit his cousin, Joe Letizia, just got married. He drove out with the whole family. But coming back, he wants to take a plane, and he's never flown before. He takes one of those planes that makes about 12 or 15 stops before it gets to New York.
Well, one of the cheap flights.
Yeah. They sit there, they fasten the seatbelt, sign comes on, a little red truck comes out, puts some gas in the plane, and the hostess there says, all right, here we go. No smoking. And off it goes, and it lands in El Paso, Texas. And 2 people get off. Up comes a little red truck, puts some more gas on it. Up in the air it goes again. Then it lands in Phoenix, Arizona. Some more people get on and off. Out comes a little red truck and puts some gas in it, and up in the air it goes. You just doing that all the time. And out comes a little red truck, puts gas in it. And just before they landed in New York, they stopped in Pittsburgh. Out comes a little red truck again. put some more gas in, and the guy sitting next to Johnny F. says, you know, this plane's making pretty darn good time. Johnny says, yeah, and that little red truck ain't doing bad either.
See you next week, baby.